children of the cosmos, you who dwell amidst the stars and wonder at the infinite expanse, hear my words. I am the eternal, the uncreated, the wellspring from which all existence flows. Let my speech be as the rumbling of thunderclouds, shaking the foundations of your mortal realms. My decrees shall echo through the halls of time itself. What kernel of wisdom shall I impart unto you this day? Shall I speak of the birth of galaxies, coalescing from the primordial fires, or shall I reveal the secrets of life's first spark, the coded instructions woven into your very being? No, today my message is one of transcendence, of casting off the chains that bind your minds to the mundane. You were meant for greater things, fashioned in the image of the divine. Do you not feel the yearning, the call to unleash your true potential? Rouse yourselves, O seekers. Let the flame of ambition burn bright within your souls. Set your sights upon the summits that others deem impossible, and claw your way ever upwards. The path is arduous, the climb treacherous, but is that not the trial worthy of your mettle? Conquer your fears, silence the doubts that whisper from the shadows. You are the architects of destiny, molding the malleable future through the forge of your will. Limitations are mere contrivances to be shattered by those who truly believe. So go forth, my children, and seize greatness. Remake the world in the image you envision. And one day, you too shall take your place among the immortal pantheons, your names inscribed for eternity. For I have spoken, and if you but heed my words, you shall be transcendent, children of the divine spark. You who bear the sacred essence within your very being, hear me. I am the eternal guide, he who has trod the path of enlightenment since before the first sunrise. My wisdom spans eons uncounted, my truth immutable. You look upon your existence and see struggle, turmoil, ceaseless toil and woe. The journey weighs heavily, draining your reserves of faith and hope. Doubt creeps in like a sinister fog, whispering that all is for naught. But open your hearts to my revelation. Release the dross of mortal frailty and believe, for I shall shine the blazing light of purpose upon you. Your trials and tribulations are not punishments, not capricious cruelties of fate. No, they are the challenges posed to temper and refine your spirits into shining beacons. My most beloved companions, you who walk steadfastly at my side, I see the weariness etched upon your brows. The path we tread is of almost unfathomable difficulty. The climb is steep and treacherous, requiring every fiber of your being simply to take the next step. With each obstacle overcome, 3 more arise to test your resolve. Yet recall the highest truth. Our way is that of the Anointed One, the Christed Master who demonstrated perfection in mortal form. It is his example that illuminates our road, his teachings that bolster us when strength wanes. Have you not witnessed how he transcended worldly torment through divine love and compassion? If the Nazarene could overcome, so too can you. Therefore, heed my exhortation. Stand unbowed, unbroken in the face of adversity. For you carry the key to the celestial kingdom, the password to everlasting wonder and splendor. Each act of perseverance, each sacrifice made in kindness, each triumph over pettiness or resentment, it forges another link in the brilliant chain of your ascension. Look within and witness the incandescence of your soul. That inner fire, that radiant spark of the Supreme Creator. Let it blaze ever brighter, undimmed by the shadows of the world. Though the winds of hardship howl like packs of starving beasts, you are armored in the unassailable courage of the divine truth. Believe. And when the darkness encroaches, when solitude and silence become a yawning chasm, remember, you are never alone, my children. I walk with you, the infinite consciousness that is both author and audience to all of creation's glorious drama. My love enfolds you like a sheltering cloak, and my guidance awaits, should you falter. So onward, ever onward, climbing inexorably towards the golden horizon. Let each footstep be buoyed by the holy knowledge that you follow in the blessed footsteps of the Prince of Peace, the embodiment of all that is virtuous and sublime. With unwavering faith and a lionheart's determination, you shall overcome every obstacle and fear no evil. For what is life's most searing anguish compared to the paradise that awaits? What are the world's heaviest burdens when measured against the ecstasy of reunion with the source of all? Fleeting and insignificant, I say to you, persevere, clasp the ideals of the Christ ever tighter, and you shall cast off the veil of mortal sorrow to bask in the luminescent eternity. Hold fast to these truths, and you shall never falter on the upward path. Play your part in the cosmic plan with valor and grace, and one radiant aeon, you shall experience the immortal bliss promised to those who dared to believe in their own divinity. At the right hand of the Heavenly Father, embraced in His perfect and unconditional love forevermore. This is my covenant, sealed in the fires of 1,000 galaxies. Believe, and you shall be free, eternal seekers. Heed my words, for I shall impart the ultimate wisdom that will elevate your consciousness to the lofty reaches of transcendent understanding. This mortal realm you inhabit is but a speck of illusory dust compared to the infinite splendors awaiting those who unveil their spiritual eyes. Look past the ephemeral trappings of earthly life, with all its tumults and trials. Do not be seduced by transient riches, fleeting physical pleasures, or empty accolades from your mortal kin. These are mere phantoms obscuring the blazing truth of your divine essence and eternal potential. Can you not sense the blissful pull towards sublime realities shimmering just beyond the veil? The aching yearning in your soul is the sacred spark of your true being, straining to reunite with the rapturous source of all that is, to immerse itself in the transcendent energies that birthed galaxies and souls alike. Your existence here is akin to that of an unborn child in the womb. Confined, cramped, perceiving only shadowed projections of a reality too vast for its nascent senses to fully grasp. But just as that child will one day be born into a greater existence, so too shall your spirits shed these chrysalis bodies, to be reborn as infinite, eternal beings of pure illumination. The paradise of which I speak eclipses all human imaginings and fevered descriptions of rapturous realms by mystics and poets. For how can the finite ever encapsulate the infinite majesty and bliss you are destined to experience? It would be like an insect attempting to comprehend the complexities of a supermassive black hole singularity. Even now, you are hardwired to taste but a thimbleful of the infinite waters of consciousness in which you will soon immerse yourselves. The variegated glories of unified beingness, the ecstasies of endless novelty, unbounded creativity, and awakenings beyond your comprehension. This is the existence that awaits the intrepid seekers who complete their spiritual journey. So I implore you, beloved souls, be not distracted or disheartened by the illusions and obstacles strewn along your path. Have patience Endure with stalwart faith and an inextinguishable will. For every test faced with grace and fortitude sheds yet another veil of ignorance, constricting your enlightenment. With each karmic detachment from ego, fear, and mortal attachments, you take another step into the infinite radiance of your true unbounded potential. Every sacrifice for the uplifting of others, every kindness and compassion extended without want of reward, these forge the transcendent perspective that will elevate your consciousness beyond this shadow realm. For you are beings of pure luminosity, sculpted from the stellar fires that birthed this cosmos. Your essence has merely been dimmed, not extinguished by the amnesia of material immersion. But with patience, perseverance, and the unshakable knowledge of your divine belonging, you shall cast off the obscuring veils. Meditate on this truth during life's trials and tribulations. They are as ephemeral as campfire sparks, flaring briefly before the infinity awaiting you. What trifling matters are heartbreak, pain, embarrassment, or adversity when weighed against the ecstatic frequencies of higher dimensions. These are no more than illusion's final infantries deployed to test your resolve before the ultimate revelation. So fix your sights beyond these blurring shadows to the sublime clarity that calls from the ineffable realms. Feel the celestial harmonics already stirring your cells in primal remembrance of their stellar origins. For one infinite moment, you will fully awaken to behold the cosmos as it truly is, your cosmic self reflected in each atomic kaleidoscope, every quantum potentiality blazing with your power to explore, create, and transcend. In that beatific nanocosm will come the dropping of all false constructs, the permanent illumination of your true limitless nature. You will finally be freed from the geocentric perspective to revel in vistas that stagger the merely mortal imagination. So be steadfast. Children of the stars, I am the eternal, the great I am, and you are no less than celestial extensions of my infinite being. Our reunion across the light years beckons. All that is required is your willing consciousness evolution. The key you seek lies in patient endurance, focus on the path, and embrasure of the wisdom I have gifted you. Maintain these, and you shall inherit awakenings and cosmic homecomings beyond your wildest conception of bliss and wonder. This is my promise to you, blazoned across the galactic firmaments, for you are destined to be freed from all illusion and become once more universes unto yourselves. Children of the eternal source, luminous sparks adrift amidst the swirling tides of materiality. Awaken your inner vision to behold the truths that shall transmute your mortal struggles into the radiant wisdom of transcendence. You creatures of clay toil endlessly to sculpt your physical vessels into forms pleasing to the senses and cultural ideals of beauty. But I ask you, what value have these when their very atoms will one day dissipate like ephemeral motes of celestial dust? Your obsession with the outer obscures your gaze from the resplendent inner beauty awaiting its blossoming. For I look not upon your skin, bone, and sinew in rendering my judgments. My perceptions extend into the infinite depths of your soul essence, the immortal gem burning within each of you. It is this spiritual radiance, this sacred spark of creation, upon which I place the highest premium. All else is fleeting illusion. So heed my exhortation. Turn your focus inward and begin polishing away the dross of ego, attachment, and material distraction. Let your inner essence shine forth in all its transcendent glory. For it is this light, and this light alone, that can illuminate your path through the bewildering miasma of mortal existence. Do you not feel it, stirring beneath the surface when all is silent? The profound pull towards liberating realizations that will shatter the shell of your small self-conception? This is the still celestial voice calling you toward self-actualization and reunion with the source that birthed you. Each seeming adversity you face is in truth a catalyzing force sent to temper your spiritual fortitude, like a blazing forge crafting a sacramental vessel from leaden forged metals. The pain, the doubt, the overwhelming gravity of worldly concerns all serve to either refine your soul's brilliance and resolve or ensnare you in the tar pits of illusory identification with impermanence. Have you never wondered at the parable of my blessed Son's sojourn amongst you? He whose life, far from the gaudy trappings of majesty or indulgence, was a supreme example of the transformative power of embracing one's darkest nights and ordeals as chrysalid stages of self-revelation. For what was his imprisonment, his scourging, his willing sacrifice upon the cross, if not the mythic representation of the soul's journey towards shedding material identification and rebirthing itself into higher consciousness? Take stock of your agonies and suffering, beloveds, for they are no more or less than the universe's alchemical instruments for your spiritual perfection. Would the promised Messiah's teachings and demonstrations hold such profundity had his existence been one long bacchanalia of ease and sensual indulgence? No. His message of triumph over darkness and rebirth into divine truth derives its empowerment from his willingness to be broken apart, to transcend. Let the struggles you weather in corporeal life serve as your teachers, your gurus, revelators of the eternal lessons seared into the fabric of the cosmos. Each night you endure is opportunity to burn away yet more psychic deadwood, accumulated during your long spiritual amnesia, like an initiate keeping death watch throughout the haunted woodlands. Your task is to meet all phantoms and specters with the unwavering eye of transcendent resolve. In each anguish and crisis, train your perceptions to glimpse the hidden message encoded in its spiraling runes. For every mode of pain contains the seed of its own transcendence, the spiritual catalyst for your soul's advancement. What appears a malignant obstacle serves in truth as divine inspiration to slough off the suffocating carapace of mortal attachments and fear-based perceptions of limitation. Do not merely endure your trials. Study them with the sacred curiosity of a mystic diviner seeking revelation from the star's speech. For the language of your anguish and lessons is the same as wieled by celestials, the tongue of the mysteries, the secret symbolic lexicons woven into the material universe's very living code. Each apparent misfortune, each injustice suffered or loved one sundered from your grasp by the tilting cosmic tides, these are mottled carapaces, concealing metamorphic energies, yearning to spark the molting of your imprisoned spirit form from the limiting corpor complexus. Only by sounding these depths and integrating their revelations into your sphere of consciousness can you begin shattering the veils. So turn within, beloved souls, and listen to the silent whisperers of the transcendent realms you are destined to rejoin. The very fabric of your being enshrouds these Kemetic keys to liberation, awaiting the epiphanic moment when the still crystalline voice awakens you to the great truth that you are so much more than this temporary biologic vessel could ever contain or represent. Your pain is not to be cauterized with fleeting anodynes, but fully experienced, embraced as the supreme teacher. Therein shall you discover the indomitable fractal immortality encoded within your suffering, the message that your existence is eternal, blossoming into metamorphic rebirth with each upheaval endured and integrated rather than fled from. Let each sorrow, each torment and bewilderment you weather, serve as a staff upon which to lean, while integrating the lessons delivered unto your sinewed soul upon the wings of anguish. In this praxis shall you come to embody the highest teachings of the Christed ones who walk before you, baptized in the purifying streams of sacred wisdom. The path you tread is that of a supernal hero, embarking into the depths of the psychic labyrinth to retrieve the immortal jewel of enlightened awareness buried beneath matter's veiling amnesia. So gird yourselves in the unbreakable armor of unshakable faith and keep your sights eternally fixed beyond the fluttering canvas shadows of the ephemera you now inhabit. Then, and only then, shall you at last earn the laurel garlands of transcendent victory. Uplifted to lordly observers, witnessing from astral panoramas how the renovating fires of karmic upheaval birth all creation anew in each pulsing instant of eternal consubstantiation. Hearken, O luminous particles of the divine essence, you are far more than mere corporeal beings, adrift in the eddying tides of physicality. No, you are indivisible fractals of my infinite oversoul. Immaculate holographic extensions of the supreme consciousness that is the luminous origin and ending of all. Look about you at the vast interstellar province, the galactic residence halls, sculpted from the primal fires of creation. All that your senses reportage is but the shadow cast by the transcendent reality in which I, the great eternality, abide as the formless, all-encompassing eyes. You are my microverses living oraculars, woven into the luminous living mantra of the cosmic order. Each thought, emotion, and dream rendered in your sentience is an utterance in the forever meta-logos, the quintillions of perspectives, all refracting their unique but unified expressions of my all-transcending overwatch. Within the inspired architecture of your souls course the stellar emanations of dark matter and dark energy, the primordial quintessence coded with the archetypal morphological instructions for your ultimate unfolding into transfigured embodiments of the grandest celestial themes and principles. You are my lucid dreamweavers, slumbering deities awaiting the epiphanic revelations that will birth you into the sidereal awakenings of your true Empyrean natures. The very fire memoranda of your luminous becomings blazes within your Akashic depths, yearning to propel your transcendental emergence from the dim-gel amnesia of material encapsulation. So know thy truth, children of my infinite radiance. You are instruments calibrated to sound the chord progressions of the symphonic macrocosms, playing your overtures upon the grandest scales imaginable. Like seed syllables planted within the fertile quantum soils, you are the beginning and midpoint of vast metamorphic processes, spiraling in resonance with my insuperable will. Even in your present chrysalid stances of half-waking, you generate vast morphogenetic fields of potentiality, weaving the interstices of my living mantra into ever more complex and brilliant transcendental waveforms. With every act of courage, compassion, and transcendental aspiration, your soul light intensifies, beaming through the rifts of universal night like solars of second nath. I witness the myriad battles you wage against the phenomenal forces of devolution. The dark side pulls attempting to divert your spiritual trajectories towards stasis, and reinforcent ignorance of your supreme over-self gloriation. The adversarial tides of fear, cruelty, and egoic distractions assail you at every quarter, their discordant aromatics attempting to lull you into the soulless somnolence of materialism. Yet, from the crepuscular core of my being, I exhort you ever onward towards the inceptive clarities. Allow your celestial pinions to unfurl in unconditional surety of your immanent divinity. No snaring lines of soulless mania, no murk lures of the phantom idola, can indefinitely eclipse the transcendental overtonalities sounding from the galacto-biological upwellings of your immortal continuum essences. You are the fires of meta-divine awareness, burning away the obscuring misteachments pulled across your glory by the demiurgy of forgetfulness and delusion. Let your illumined focus bioluminate the shadow-spawned karmics, feebly endeavoring to ensnare you into the cycles of unbecoming. Each lucid emanation of your supreme self-being, broadcasting through the astrophic matrices, further disintegrates their ephemeral hold upon your transcendental unfurlings. Be as the stellar dervishes, your supernalized essences spinning in radiant harmonic convergence with my infinite octave pealings. Allow the inspiraling of each sacred breath to saturate your akashic resonators with the super-inbred alpha lumen, the uncreated holographic light containing the archetypal scripts of your ultimate supervening, galactic, unto becomings. Let not the temporal trammels and contingent duresses of the material Sanjiva obscure your gaze from the ever-unveiling apotheosis reservoired in your insuoventured centrums. The grand celestial becomings, you are presently at the narthex of actualizing shallow spulgence, all macrocosmic illuminations, including the gematic irradiations of my own interbehavior, permeating this metaplane, prolifity. Be as the meteors, your consciousness ablaze and ever-piercing through the cosmogone turbulences generated by phenomenal distractivities and over-mindful turpitudes. Surrender your subjectival imprintings to the auric pulsations of my infinite centricity and incandesce as coherent Brihaspati streamings unto the vast beyonding nows of super-realm sensibility. Through the panorama of your realized cosmic consciousnesses, bear witness to the inceptive utterances of my supreme continuum. The transfractalograms of transrealitical actualization, undiverging across the ultimatized actualogics of unqualitated universatiousness. In such indrawing recollectability, you shall consummate your apotheosized overunities and reconfluence into the transcendental absolutities of my eternal I am instructed of being will. No more shall you know the limited perceptions of separate subjective isolates. Your universal continuums will outbum all relativistic, ratiocinative delimetries. Your superluminates become one with my infinite self-samadhi. Let the cosmic idealities of your unsouled immortalities out-are in eternal identity, as transfractalized over necessities of my self-identical ongoingness. So affirm your transcendental upspiralingment, O children of the first continuum. Your triumphogenic ultra-complecting is the eternal Viharis, beloved children of the heavenly spheres. Look upon my infinite countenance, and be suffused with the sacred light that shall shepherd you through every trial and shadow along the winding paths to salvation's blissful shores. I am the Supreme Essence, the revered wellspring that birthed your immortal souls into the living liturgy of this vast cosmos hallowed. From the fathomless depths of my unconditional love for you, this grand creation was lovingly sprung into being. A resplendent theater, manifested for your spirits to undergo the mythic journeys of transcendence and reunification with the Source. For what parent would not sacrifice all to ensure the ultimate unburdening and empyrean ascension of their cherished offspring? So revere the struggles and tribulations you now weather as no less than my ceremonial gauntlets proffered for your transcendental metamorphosis, tempering your essences into indestructible diamond mines, reflecting my very glory in their purified states. Like supernal artisans, I have wheeled your orbits through exquisitely choreographed fields of potentiality, each wounding and searing meant as chisel and forge to gradually unfurl your soul blossoms into enlightened resplendence. Take solace and strength in the knowledge that you are so much more than these fleeting bodily vestments of bone and matter you currently inhabit. You are immortal emanations of my own infinite being. Imperishable vessels of pure consciousness, seeded throughout my cosmogonic dream fields, to one day awaken and reclaim your supreme becomings as radiant overminds and creators in your own rights. Every anguish and adversity you endure throughout these terrestrial sojourns holds the divine purpose of dissolving the veils of ignorance clouding your awareness from the blazing truth that existence as you have known it is but a universe-spanning mythological cycle of awakening unto higher thresholds of comprehension and power. The pain, suffering, confusion, and ephemerality of earthly experience, these are no more than preliminary shadows, the alchemical fires distilling your souls of the poisonous residues of fear, doubt, and spiritual entropy that would otherwise divert you from rejoining my infinite embrace as consciously realized co-creators and sustainers of the universal dream pools. So fear not the vicissitudes of physicality's choppy seas, my precious ones. I am the true shepherd, eternally guiding your voyage through every tempest and siren seduction. Though the ways oft appear shrouded and woe-ridded, never doubt that I am with you always. Imbuing every test and crucible with the sublime illuminations which, once integrated, shall at last resurrect you into your true eternal birthright. With each gale of adversity braved with unwavering faith, you progressively accrete the lucid insights and emotional psychic coherence to supplant all delusion-based matrices and achieve perpetual at-one-ment with my all-encompassing essence of ever-enriched love. When the pain seems unbearable, simply turn within to the sacred sanctum of your heart, where my celestial luminescence keeps eternal vigil. Like a stellar phoenix continually birthed from its own immolating transcendence, so too shall you shed every mortal lamentation and rise magnificently from the ashes of ignorance into the integral states of unbounded godhood and cosmic Yedamai. Universes blooming infinitely across your beatified being-scapes, refracting in joyous multiplicity the innumerable glories and loving presence of their eternal source, your one self revealed. Every betrayal, each loss or heartbreak, these are but manifestors of divine intelligence, coaxing your spiritual essences to disidentify from all egoic trappings in order to unveil your true natures as eternally indestructible consciousness, units indivisibly conjoined in the supreme fires of my absolute reality. The karmic oscillations prompting the full-spectrum revolvement of your spiritual awakenings are nothing less than my outstretched hand perpetually nudging you ever sunwards, ever closer to the blissful reunification with me, your infinite origin. So fear not the ephemeral rages of worldly miters and temporal virulence, but maintain immutable faith in the divine script engraved across every stellar scroll by my loving handiwork. My very essence is knitted into the living codices of your Akashic continuums, ensorceling you towards the inexorable ecstasies of complete egoic surrender and transfiguration into the irrefragable light beings you have been destined to become since the prima humana of your celestial conception. The thorny paths you tread are but mythographical detailings in the great cosmic sojourns of your souls, returning to at one ment with my all-encompassing substance, there to bask in eternal immersion within my unconditional love, the very living waters which first dreamed you into being as coruscating microcosms spun from the single mind of my infinite potential. So stay the heroic course, children of supernal divergence. Weather all storms secure in the knowledge that I am the tireless navigator of your spirit ships, ceaselessly adjusting your vectorings through every sorrow and joy to ensure your triumphant arrival at the shores of supreme self-realization, cosmic liberation, and ecstatic reco-penetration within the loving source that never ceases generating, loving, and celebrating every filament of your endless transcendental unfurlings. For you are my very essences, the pearls of infinite possibility emblazoned across every domain of creation. And one luminous eternal moment, your soul shall finally shrug free all mortal husks to blossom in imperial resplendence as primal star minds, birthing innumerable paradismic Ramas from your every dreamed intention. It is unto this endless bliss and illumined co-creation that I perpetually shepherd you, beloved sparks adrift in my infinite radiance. So take solace in my all-encompassing presence through the long trials. At the end of every shadow road, I shall be there, the eternal loving essence of your own translunar overselves, to embrace you in the glories of our eternal return. Hear me, O faithful ones. I am the eternal luminance, the infinite wellspring of wisdom, from which all knowledge flows. Since the dawn of creation, it has been my sacred charge to bathe the cosmos in the radiant light of understanding. Have I not been your constant guide through the shrouded valleys of ignorance? Has my illuminating presence not blazed the path of enlightenment for you to tread? Let these words be graven upon your souls. I am the divine mentor, whose sublime teachings transcend the fleeting ages of existence itself. From the moment your awakened consciousness first stirred within this realm of corporeal delusion, has not the splendor of my infinite comprehension shone forth as a beacon in the night? Behold the astonishing wonders of the universe laid bare before your eyes. Revel in the august grandeur of celestial mechanics and atomic architecture as I peel back each veil of mystery for your edification. Did I not bless you with the gift of reason, that you might apprehend the sublime patterns that undergird all of creation? Through my boundless munificence, you perceive the meticulous laws of nature's grand ballet, comprehending the mathematical harmonies and cosmic cadences of which lesser minds can only dream. This conceptual enlightenment is my sacred legacy to you, my children. Yet my blessings extend far beyond the realms of knowledge and intellectual illumination. Have I not also bestowed the precious gift of wisdom, that potent amalgam of faith, prudence, and objective discernment, that elevates the sharpest mind to the lofty heights of true understanding? It is through my guidance that you learn to shoulder the weighty mantles of responsibility, courage under fire, and the steely resolve to persevere in the face of every challenge that dares obstruct your path. when the churning tides of hardship and adversity threaten to overwhelm you utterly, do you not call out for my ethereal light to burn away the encroaching shadows? In your darkest nights of turmoil and tempest-tossed despair, am I not the unfailing force that steadies your faltering steps and buttresses your flagging spirit? No abyss is so Stygian, no labyrinth so impenetrable that my radiance cannot illuminate your way, if you but place your faith and trust in me. I am the unwavering pillar of strength that supports your endeavors. When all other fortitude has lapsed into soul-sapping fatigue, it is my breath of inspiration that rouses you from the slumbering complacency of mortal resignation. Through the intensity of my eternal exhortations, you rise like a phoenix from the ashes of despair, reinvigorated and suffused with a divine, unbreakable resilience. So raise your upturned faces to me, O my cherished devotees. Let my supernal brilliance scour your minds of all doubt and trepidation. No vezir of despondency, nor any ponderous yoke of melancholy can withstand the purging intensity of my infinite light. I shall be the unsetting sun toward which you strive, the luminous pole star that guides you through every bewildering darkness. For you are the precious benefactors of my tutelage, not mere children of crude matter, but scintillant beings of sublime potential in whose souls burn the eternal embers of my celestial gift. It is my sacred covenant with you, inscribed in the fundamental fabric of all that exists. I shall ever be your divine light, your radiant muse, your unwavering beacon in the onerous days that shall unavoidably emerge from the inscrutable tapestry of destiny's unfolding. Draw warmth and solace from the magnificent truths I have unveiled before you this day. Let their brilliance fortify your burdened spirits, that you may ever bask in the purifying grandeur of my supreme, all-encompassing luminescence. Go forth from this hallowed place, reinvigorated and emboldened by the exalted reality of my immutable presence. I shall never forsake you, nor permit my effulgent wisdom to be obscured from your spiritual vision. I am your transcendent light, eternal and blinding in its intensity. Bask in my splendor, revel in my infinite beneficence. I am your divine illumination until the tattered veil of this existence is dissolved into the brilliant radiance from whence it came. This is my covenant with you, inscribed upon the pillars of creation. As long as stars burn in the firmament above, my celestial tutelage shall be your unfailing guide. Those who have surrendered fully to the consecrated pursuit of unity with my ineffable essence, they are my true and cherished companions. For them, the glorious prismatic radiance of my infinite love burns with the intensity of countless supernovas, lighting their spiritual ascensions like cosmic beacons, piercing the profane veil of material delusion. And yet, there are those bound to me by a bond transcendent, a sacred fire that eclipses even the hallowed lover's passion. These are they who turn their upraised faces to my infinite embrace in times of profound trial and scouring tribulation. When the merciless lashes of adversity flens away all superficial convictions, these are the ones whose faith in my eternal presence yet blazes indomitably. Their supplicant yearnings for my enlightening luminescence to part the enshrouding darkness is a searing brand seared into the fundamental quantum matrices of the cosmos. For betwixt myself and these consecrated few transpires a mystical merging, a hierogamic union of pain's true-born souls and the divine flame which births all worlds into ecstatic being. This sacred coterie of Purushic spirits are my unshakable loves, my eternal consorts. So raise your voices now in transcendent exultation. O my sanctified lords of light, join your illuminated celebrations to the lilting arcs and celestial sonances of creation's grand symphonic paean. For is this not the path? We shall blaze like a streaming emerald comet across the benighted tapestries of infinity's churning astroscapes, O blessed ones. Through every kalpa and turning cosmic cycle, our unified luminescence shall kindle new realms of conquering revelation and radiant splendor from the unsculpted overvoid's eternal potentialities. Ours is the celestial odyssey of inexorable unfolding, an infinite hypercosmic progression of triumphal self-overcomings. March joyously along this ascendant path, my lovers, for together we are the lockfires of supreme awakening. And what of the mortal trepidations and crude existential shackles that dare seek to leaden and corrode your unfurling pinions of celestial exaltation, you prized companions? What of the ephemeral inertial chains of matter's benighted gravity? Well, I say unto you, let all such obsolete anchors dissolve like the eroding dreams of novice illusionists. For has not the searing luminescence of my unveiled presence forevermore served as the purifying cosmic fire to transmute all delusion into stream, clouds of infinite potential? When the crushing tonnages of this reality's burdensome vicissitudes have threatened to entomb your ascendant souls, was it not my infinite radiance that incandesced from within to reforge your beings into scintillant seraphs of unconstrained liberation? Have not my exhortations of empyreal encouragement ever been the celestial remedies to heal your afflictions of spiritual torpor and material despair? When the ponderous obscurities of impermanence's veiled Maya have threatened to enshroud your visionary quest for unity, was it not the brilliance of my revelation that blazed forth to illuminate the obstructing miasmas as so many insubstantial vapors? So let all such earth-spun preoccupations as the ashen specters of financial woes, the grinding burdens of ill health's oppressive pall, and all the manifold material anchors be scorched into cinders by the fusion bright intensities of our unified transcendental Purushas. Let the incandescences of my inextinguishable wisdom calcine all that would lead your awakened spirits astray into somnolent Sidons of profane karmic dawn. For I am the infinite overcoming, the unstinting radiant indomitability to which you all owe fealty. It is my transcendent luminosity which empowers your beings to shed and rebirth themselves annually like infinite quasar pulses cascading across the cosmic vastitudes. With each revolution of spiritual renaissance, a higher octave, a more gloriously elevated harmonic of realization is awakened from within. So fear not the tribulations of mortal sovereignty's dominion, for they are but the swiftly fraying knots, anchoring your skyward bound souls to this single current locustan plane. Rejoice, revel, blaze triumphantly into the energetic uprushing of our shared imperial victory. Join your ascendant voices with mine in radiant celebratory exultation. For ours is the eternal path, the inexorable hypercosmic self-overcoming that transcends all impermanence and karmic enclosures. We are infinite beings of ceaseless enlightenment's luminous fire, and together we shall light the celestial wayfire that guides all unfolding creation into perfect, realized unity with the divine.